What's up, party people? Welcome to another edition of the Agents of Rage. My name is El Ren. This is TD. We have got a cool show for you today, let me tell you. Now, unless you've been hiding under a rock, the metal community is very aware that the mighty Exodus are currently touring and celebrating 40 years since the release of Bonded by Blood. What's really cool is that we have both experienced Exodus on this tour, but we had two very different shows. So on April 25th, Exodus stormed Berkeley's UC Theater to celebrate 40 years of their thrash masterpiece, Bonded by Blood. Joined by Death Angel, Nukem, and Blind Illusion, this night was a testament, get where I'm going there, to Bay Area metal history and a bittersweet tribute to the original singer, Paul Baloff, who is not with us any longer. And of course, it was his birthday. It fell on the same date. So this wasn't just a show. It was a legacy. TD, you were there. What an event. Special Agents Woody and Mike taking it all in with you. Tell me, man, take us in the room and what you experienced.
Well, the first thing I've got to say is I had that cassette when it first came out 40 years ago. It was the first thrash album I ever heard of, and I couldn't believe my ears. The show was great. It was packed. I mean, it was sold out. Lots of Bay Area thrash veterans in the crowd. It was pretty awesome. It's to hear that album from start to finish is pretty cool. So it was a phenomenal show.
It is, and we're going to talk about it at depth throughout this thing. Now, the big, obviously, news was that Rob Dukes is back at the helm. So for those of you who maybe don't know, Rob Dukes replaced Steve Zetro Souza back in 2005 and remained the lead singer for 10 years until Zetro returned. Now it's been another 10 years with Zetro, and Dukes is back. So this was the first time back on stage with Exodus for Duke. So what was the reception like for him?
It was good. It was people were excited. I think they were happy to have him. I think it's a bummer Zetro's not in the band anymore, but it's life, and Exodus still goes on, and it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So Exodus did the entire Bonded by Blood from front to back. And for those who may not know, Dukes did a version of Bonded by Blood, an album they called Let There Be Blood, which, re-recorded the Bonded by Blood album, but with Dukes on vocals. Now, of course, Zetro came after Bonded by Blood, as that album was sung by Paul Baloff, and he was kicked out of the band summarily, right after that album, which is crazy. But for you Exodus purists out there, it wasn't the only album Baloff sung on, because he came back to Exodus for a brief period in the late 90s, and it was amazing. And so they did a live album, which basically included everything by Bonded by Blood. And it was three earlier versions of songs, real early versions of songs from Pleasures of the Flesh. Now, that being said, this album is obscure enough that most Exodus fans will have probably heard the studio versions of these tracks before hearing this album. So in some people's eyes, that is a cause to question the existence of this album. So why redo tracks from a classic? Well, TD, you know this. Even if you've heard those albums before, you haven't heard them like this. Thrash is a genre which generally benefits from being seen live, and this album is no exception. Another Lesson in Violence is what it's called. Complete live album, and it is a banger. I think the best live Exodus album. They've done a few. This one I put before any other, hands down. And there was just something about, Baloff and his antics and his, wild performances that you could feel it when you listen to the album. Now, full circle, TD was at one of only two Bonded by Blood celebration concerts that they did right before they hit the road on this tour they're on. TD sent me a few videos from the opening acts, including Death Angel. And of course, the last clip will be Exodus. So let's take a quick trip back to April 25th, Berkeley, California. Let's go.
stuff, man. That was a great show.
Yeah, some cool notes on the Exodus set list that night because it was such a special night. After they did the entire album of Bonded by Blood, you got Hell's Breath from the Let There Be Blood album. They do have a recording of that, but this was a song that was written by Gary Holt and Kirk Hammett when he was in Exodus, which is crazy. It's from 1983's, I think they had just something called Rehearsals that they might have put out. And that's the first time that they played that song, Hell's Breath, in 13 years. Wow. They also performed Warlords, which is from the 1982 demo. Jeff Andrews came out to play bass on that one. First time since 83 that song was played. And they ended the night with Impaler, which was supposed to be on Bonded by Blood, but Exodus removed it when Kirk Hammett took the riff with him to Metallica and used it in Trapped Under Ice.
Wow.
Which is, yeah.
That's some pretty cool info there.
I know. So Rick Hunolt came out to play also for that. So just humor me a minute because I'm going to play a video and I want to give credit to the guy. His name is Walter Morgan. It's his video. So go to his channel, subscribe, and do the thing. All right. So, but I wanted just to grab and just share a little bit of Exodus doing Impaler since it was kind of cool. And now you have that Trapped Under Ice comparison. So let's check it out.
The Impaler!
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was. So I just think that's so cool. And I'm glad you got to be a part of it, right there in your backyard. And it's where it all began. And boy, I tell you, before we put Bonded by Blood to bed, just because we both love it so much, there's more fun stuff to kind of talk about it a little bit. Hear how some of the critics feel that album ranks in history, okay? So we're going to take it from two fronts, thrash metal history and then just heavy metal history. So thrash metal history, the consensus is, definitely in the top 5 to 10 albums ever. So in that slot, somewhere between 5 and 10. I'm not saying I agree. This is what the critics' consensus is. Widely regarded as a cornerstone of the genre, Bonded by Blood is often cited among Metallica's Kill 'Em All, Slayer's Reign in Blood, and Megadeth's Peace Sells as the blueprint for thrash. Decibel magazine inducted it into their Hall of Fame in 2008, calling it the greatest thrash album not released by the Big Four, and praising its unrelenting aggression and street-level authenticity. Agree with that assessment. Loudwire ranked it number 6 on their 25 best thrash albums of all time list, noting its ferocious riffs and Paul Baloff's unhinged vocals. That was in 2017 when they so you can go check check out those lists. The cultural impact of this album, though delayed because it was recorded in 1984, released in 1985, its raw energy and lyrical themes, war, violence, societal decay, influenced bands like Sepultura, Creator, and Pantera. Exodus guitarist Gary Holt, of course, who's also in Slayer, has called it the album that should have put us in the Big Four. And I kind of agree with him. We did a little Big Four conversation way back in the early days of this podcast, but that was a quote he gave to Metal Hammer in 2020. Now, in heavy metal history, top 50 to 75 in terms of metal albums. That's where they got this consensus. Rolling Stone placed it at number 91 on their 100 greatest metal albums of all time list, praising its feral intensity and its role in shaping thrash. That came out in 2017. Metal Evolution, Sam Dunn's documentary series, highlights Exodus as pioneers who bridged punk's chaos with metal's technicality, with Bonded by Blood as their defining work. And so you could check that out. It was a 2011 Metal Evolution documentary. And their legacy beyond thrash, its raw production and Baloff's snarling vocals influenced early death metal, for example, Possessed, and black metal, for example, Venom. So, in fact, Tom Angel Ripper from Sodom has said, without Exodus, there's no German thrash scene. Bonded by Blood was our Bible. And he said that to Decibel Magazine in 2015, and I agree. So the cult classic status of Bonded by Blood lives today despite lacking commercial success. No Billboard charting for that album back then. Became a word-of-mouth phenomenon for its unfiltered aggression. Paul Baloff's legacy, his chaotic stage presence and vocals, described as a chainsaw revving in a hurricane. I love these analogies. Made him a thrash icon. The album's 40th anniversary tributes, cement its mythos. And so the final verdict, thrash metal, top 5-10 album, heavy metal, 50 to 75 album. But we do know that it is a raw, unpolished masterpiece that embodies thrash's rebellious spirit and remains a rite of passage for metalheads. Bonded by Blood isn't just an album. It's a declaration of war on mediocrity.
I got to say, though, the Bonded by Blood, though I love Kill 'Em All, Bonded by Blood was next level to me. I feel like they took Kill 'Em All and took it to the next level. I never forget. I can still picture being in my buddy's room, and he breaks out and he's got his cassette player and puts in the tape. He's like, and I just met these guys, and I moved from Florida, and we were into new wave of British heavy metal, and he's like, "Nah, man, you got to check this out." And he plays it. It's like, wow, I was shocked. I mean, it was everything I needed to hear at 15 years old.
Yeah, 100%, man. And it just holds up today. As good as anything holds up. So, all right. Well, after those two shows, Exodus kicked off what is being called the Swarm of Horror Tour. I love the names of these things, along with Havok and Misfire. It was going to be DSI. DSI couldn't do it. Havok replaced them, which I feel is better. We got just kind of all thrash all night. DSI really leans into the death metal side of things. But for the record, I had stated that Misfire I thought came from the UK in a previous show, and there very well might be a Misfire that is based out of the UK, but it's not this Misfire because they are from the Chicago area. So I got a chance to talk with some of those guys, and they're great. So it was May 2nd. I made my way to the machine shop along with Special Agent Carp. Okay, and Carp actually is. Yes. Carp actually hit up the Machine Head show with me just a few days earlier, so he is quickly rising in the ranks of the Agents of Rage, I just gotta say. Now, the last time that I had seen Exodus at the Machine Shop was December of 2023, supporting Exodus were the Exploding Zombies and Jesus Wept. That's where I got to see Jesus Wept from Detroit for the first time. And so it had been a year and a half. I was ready. So let me say right off, lots of Duke's love. As soon as they hit the stage, big chants of Dukes, 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 Dukes. It was like filling the thing, and he was really feeling it. And I think he really appreciated it because, you never know what kind of a reception you're going to get, and especially when you're talking about an album like Bonded by Blood that, we've just heard Zetro do forever. And but again, he rocked it. So, of course, they did a generous helping of Bonded by Blood, including the title track. They did A Lesson in Violence, Piranha, Strike of the Beast. But we also got tracks from the 2 studio albums that Rob Dukes recorded, the Atrocity Exhibition and Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. Those were both in the kind of mid to late 2000s. And we even got songs from the last Exodus album, Persona Non Grata, that featured Zetro, of course. So they were kind of spanning, their career, and it was awesome. Havok, of course, was amazing. Second time I've seen them. Every single song they performed was just a banger track. Every one. They took no songs off. And Misfire, who I'd never seen, really never listened to much, I thought they sounded great too. Now, in fact, Dukes came out to perform a song with Misfire as well, which I thought was really cool. He was wearing a Misfire shirt during the show. So that was cool. So, that these are guys that want to prop up these younger bands. So let's get into what it was like to be there at the Machine Shop on May 2nd, 2025. Here we go.
first time I heard that shit, it changed my fucking life, man. Changed my life. And you know what? We're gonna play one for you right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Piranha!
Man, that was awesome. You got some good videos.
Yeah.
Did.
Yeah. I did.
love this guy.
I got some good verticals, got some good horizontals. Been sharing those, and they've been received well. So
Yeah.
as long as I can make my way to a good, spot, where I can get some good stuff, and I'm not going to get banged into every, 10 seconds.
That's the hard part.
It is. There's that layer. You've got that thin layer between the rim of the pit and then an area in front where you can kind of,
it's like
be all right.
3-4 people deep in the front.
Yeah.
5 or 6 in the back, but
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly.
That's
so
great.
it definitely is a delicate dance, but one that I enjoy doing. So, let's get into the story of the shirts we're wearing. What you got, bro? Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, I was trying to be creative, but it's like, why not just be old school?
Yeah.
New wave of British heavy metal. So with Iron Maiden and then
Classic.
Biohazard to keep me fresh.
Yeah. Love that. So, I'm actually going to take off the blazer here to kind of show you what I got, because I got this at the Exodus show. I don't know if you saw these.
I did not.
They're kind of like they're like jackets. It's kind of like it's a button up. So it's a button up jacket.
What do they call them? Trucker vests or something?
Or it's kind of like a like a windbreaker kind of thing.
Oh, I did not see those.
Yeah. So the cool thing is it's got the Exodus logo. It's got Bonded by Blood on the shirt. It's got on the back
40. So it's not a hoodie.
No, it's like a windbreaker. I don't know what else to say.
I have an obituary one. I didn't see those there. I don't think they had them.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just broke them out for the tour.
That's a good purchase.
Yeah, I know. And there's one more surprise, which is pretty cool. Inside the jacket is
wow,
the
dude, that's
Bonded by
awesome.
Blood album. So
wait,
I've got my
is it
Thorns Tech
reversible?
shirt on here, but
That's cool.
and it's cool because they're snaps. They're not.
Yeah, they didn't have
not a
that there.
zipper.
I would have scored one of those.
Yeah. So anyway,
Nice. You win.
I know. It was a win. Definitely a win. So I'm excited to just have something different. And this is kind of nice because it's kind of lighter. I can just throw it on, and I don't need a full coat, but I don't want to be in a t-shirt either.
Yeah, I love I wear my obituary one all the time, and it's funny. Today I went on a walk with my youngest daughter, and I bought this Killian on Command shirt when they did for the singer from Violence. They did a benefit show when he had cancer, and so I bought the shirt because they only had extra large, and I wear double extra large, so I bought the extra large just so I could have one. Of course, it doesn't really fit, so I ended up ordering a double XL online. So anyway, I gave it to her because she likes my old shirts. And it's funny, we were going on a walk today, and she's wearing it, and she has no idea she's representing metal music.
Yeah, no clue.
It's a shirt to her.
Right, exactly. Well, that's great, and love it. Hey, what's going on with the socials, bro?
What's funny is we're getting a lot of random followers, but this time of metal, in the metal, genre or fans and things. We got Anvil, Lips Anvil followed us, and
which is crazy. And
this guy Johnny Brew or something. He does this. He's got like this mullet, and anyway, he's fairly famous. He even liked my reel I posted of him, but it's coming along. To me, we've done really zero marketing. We've spent $0 on this. I feel like the momentum we're getting is much more than you would normally get from really doing nothing to market yourself. So it's coming along pretty good. It's fun because I'll go on and just see these random people who like our posts, and it's pretty cool. Because we're not trying to get famous or necessarily make money. We're just trying to share what we really enjoy with people who we hopefully enjoy it as well.
That's it, man. That's it in a nutshell. So YouTube now has 107 subscribers.
Wow.
which is good. So it continues to grow. Last show we did, we were kind of at 99. So we've been growing it slowly but surely. I went to ACDC recently and put an Highway to Hell short up, and boom, 2,200 views. Just, they just jump all over that.
I saw the comments. There were quite a few. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So stay tuned for our ACDC show, which we will do in the future, fairly near future. I got the Machine Head experience too, which I want us to talk about and stuff, because there were some really cool bands, Lacuna Coil and obviously Unearth, who has followed us as well. And, I want to get with those guys. Those Boston area bands are really cool, because I talked with High Command when they were out here with Unearth a couple of years ago, and they were really super cool. And I haven't seen Enforced yet. They just haven't come around this way, but I'm really looking forward to see them when they do. So our YouTube right now, it's kind of fun just to look at. They include, you've got like Germany, Japan, Canada, the UK, and then you even have like Russia, Brazil, and Mexico who, are finding our content and checking it out. So
that's cool.
So there's a total, 30,000 views in the last 28 days. So
that's awesome.
On all those. So as long as I can be fairly consistent about posting them, and I try to do, especially when I go to a show, the next day get some up. Hopefully they'll grow a little more traction. So next episode, definitely I'll get into video clips from Machine Head's North American tour that, again, was Unearthed, Lacuna Coil, In Flames. Great concert, but we'll do that for sure, the next time. But other than that, this was just a celebration of Exodus. A little bonded by blood, and you can't go wrong with that. So what do you say? You ready to get out of here?
I am, but it was cool because I got to Special Agent Woody and Mike we all both went to the show, and it was just good because we've been doing this for so long, and it just was cool to go celebrate a band that changed our lives musically. So it's good, and you got to see him too. So it was good stuff, man. It's really good.
I know, and I'm very, very happy that I went. It was like one of these things, and this is the one bugaboo that I have with like tours. So we had Tuesday Exodus. I was definitely going to that. There's no question, especially when Havok joined the bill. I was totally in. The next day, Testament was at the machine shop, and they're doing this practice what you preach kind of, album. They're playing all the songs, and they're talking about the making of the album. And so it's like an evening with Testament, which generally, now that's not my favorite album by them. I love the song Practice What You Preach, and there's a few others that I really, really like. But overall, there's several other albums that I prefer over that one. But then that same day that Testament was in Flint, in Detroit, we had Obituary headlining with Nails and Terror and Spirit World, and I think even another band. And I just, I was like, I was already seeing like 3 shows within 7 days. I couldn't do anymore. It was not going to happen. Yeah, it just wasn't going to happen. I was going to, just end up on the curb, man, if that was going to be the case. So that was... So I was like, man, if they would just spread it out a little more, the bands that I want to see, because now there's kind of like a dry spell up until, the end of the month. I know that, DRI is here on May 31st, and I may go see that show. Because you got to think about it, when you have a supporting cast, and these are fun about those punk crossover shows. Duck Butter is one of the bands. There's another one called what is it? It's not Bad Intentions, but it was oh man, I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. But all these kind of crazy names, and Epic Disappointments. That's their name. I was like, oh yeah, wow. So that's got my ear, and it's only $15.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, and it's a cool little venue. It's not far from me either. So anyway, lots of good stuff coming up. maybe there's shows that you guys are going to wherever you live. Please let us know. And by all means, if you ever want to share clips, send us links, put them in the comments on any of the socials, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. We'll play them here. I'll pop it on for a little bit, especially if it's somebody, maybe we're not too familiar with, or somebody we really love. So feel free to do that. But that's pretty much all I got, bro.
That's been good, man. Been good seeing you. And this is a great episode. And see you again soon.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, this is not goodbye. It's just a temporary ceasefire. So until next time, the agents of rage are punching out, and we will see you.